HarperCollins presents the Children's Shakespeare Collection, Vol.1, The Comedies. 8 of the Bard's funniest plays, from A Midsummer Night's Dream to The Winter's Tale, abridged and novelised for young listeners.
A Midsummer Night's Dream, written by John Docherty. Characters, in order of appearance. Theseus, Duke of Athens, ruler of the city. Hippolyta, Queen of the Amazons, engaged to be married to Theseus. Demetrius, a young nobleman, was engaged to Helena, now wants to marry Hermia instead. Helena, a friend of Hermia, in love with Demetrius. Aegeus, an Athenian lord. Hermia, daughter of Aegeus, in love with Lysander. Lysander, another young nobleman, in love with Hermia. Moth, a fairy, servant to Queen Titania. Puck, another fairy, servant to King Oberon. Titania, the fairy queen. Quince, Bottom's friend and director of the play. Oberon, the fairy king. Nick Bottom, a terrible amateur actor, wants to perform a play for Theseus's royal wedding. Flute and Snug, Bottom's friends and fellow actors. Chapter 1. Theseus, Duke of the city of Athens, was in a good mood. In 4 days, he was going to marry the brave and beautiful Queen Hippolyta. He'd just given the order for all of Athens to take the week off and start celebrating. And now he was taking his bride-to-be out into the city to spend the morning showing off about how much his people loved him. His good mood didn't, however, last for long. Scarcely had he and Hippolyta stepped out of his palace when, "Duke Theseus, your grace!" Theseus turned to see who'd spoken and sighed quietly. It was Aegeus, one of the noble lords of the city, and he didn't look happy. With him was a young woman who appeared to be equally lacking in the happiness department, and 2 young men. One of the young men was clearly just as unhappy as everyone else, and the other looked, well, a bit smug, really. Theseus sighed again. It looked as if he was going to have to spend the morning listening to people's problems. Honestly, sometimes he felt less like a duke and more like everybody's best friend, although, unlike ordinary best friends, he did at least have the power to have people put to death if they got really irritating. "What's the problem, Aegeus?" Theseus asked. He wasn't really looking forward to the answer, but at least, he thought, with a smile at Hippolyta, it might give him the chance to show her how good he was at being wise. Aegeus needed no more encouragement than that. "Your Grace, I'm extremely cross with my daughter, Hermia." He indicated the young woman, who folded her arms stroppily and glared at her father. "I've gone to a great deal of trouble to arrange a marriage for her," Aegeus continued. "And I've chosen young Demetrius." At this, the smug young man looked even more smug and bowed to the Duke. "I think he'll make an excellent husband for my daughter, I really do. But Lysander here—" At this point, he glanced coldly at the other young man, who avoided his gaze and looked unhappily at the pavement. "Lysander has tricked—"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?